Welcome everybody to the King of Nothing 2020 Endurance 658 LRC. Beautiful boat, 3 staterooms, crew, heads galore, beautifully finished boat. We're here on the aft deck and Jeff is behind the camera so you can't see him. He's standing on the curved stairs that come up from the aft swim platform. You come through these beautiful stainless steel and glass lit gates. Really nice egress on and off the boat. And if you're, like we are now, side tied to a dock, there are actually boarding gates on either side. And we have stairs that actually connect on, so you have easy egress on both the port and starboard side of the boat as well. In case your aft swim platform, you're bow into a dock and it hangs over if you're visiting a marina and it's a short dock. But this makes it really nice. The other cool feature, and there are many of them in the cockpit, this is one of many, you have these 2.5-inch oval handrails. Most boats have, like you see here, the round handrails, which is nice to grab onto. But look at the oval handrail. Your hand gets a grip on it, and it doesn't slide like you would slide on these. This really gives you good gripping. And the stainless steel handrails that run up the side also are oval, so you get a really good grip. Very safe to get on and off the boat. So you notice them here. And you notice the rail going around the back of the settee is also 2.5-inch oval handrail. So really nice and safe to get on this boat. Come on up, show you a few other features before you step into the boat. All of our Endurance series, and our Hampton series for that fact, we have port and starboard aft deck helm stations. So engine and transmission controls, bow and stern thrusters control, engine controls for stopping the engines, and then for controlling lights and such. And they're really nice. What's great about it, when you're standing here, you can sight line down the entire side of the boat. So your cruising partner's up forward and you have your headsets on talking to one another. You sight line down, you can back into your slip from here. And if you have a yacht controller, you can walk off the boat if you're by yourself, tie the boat stern line, walk up, tie the bow line, makes it really easy. And if you're in the Pacific Northwest and you're going to go through the locks, you can take the boat through the locks yourself. So, other great features. If you like to watch television, the aft deck, Flybridge, each stateroom, crew area all has a TV. Boat has satellite television. Another great feature is this tri-fold door. So it tri-folds open, or with the door closed, it just hinges open. You have nice access into this main salon. Of course, these are unprofessional videos, as all of you might be accustomed to my videos by now, so this will be another one of those. Jeff is not going to turn me into a professional video maker. So, teak table, compass rose design, large settee. So I'm a 200-pounder, and I'm sitting here, and I could have 4 of my friends sitting here with me. You could have 4 chairs around here, so this is really a nice evening al fresco dining area. And as you walk forward and you look through the salon, if you look all the way forward, you'll see the navigation screens on. So we have an open concept design. So when you're at the helm station, you could be up there at the main center captain's chair. I can be standing back here, and we can be having this conversation. The helm station is not closed off, so it really opens up the boat and makes it easy for a cruising couple to manage this vessel. Super wide walkways, they're deep. The rails are about 39 inches high, so for the average person, they're above your waist. And that's all the way around through the forward section of the deck and the Portuguese bridge. So very safe boat when you're out working the boat. So step into the salon. Beautiful space. Traditional, yet a nice touch of contemporary. As you can see, large windows. Cool feature is we box in all of our window frames. So now your shades, blinds, whatever you decide you'd like to have on our boats, they're in here, and they're not hanging outside like a lot of them you see. They just flop around. It's a really great feature. So, and later we can step aft. You have your 4th stateroom, engine room access, workshop, head and shower. Great space. It's really nice if you ever decide you want to take a captain with you, where you have teenagers who would like to have their own space. That's a great area. So back to the salon, you can see custom-built freestanding furniture. So if you'd like to change the decor, it's very easy in this vessel. Custom-made sofa, chairs. You do have a television here, surround sound system, all the things you would expect to have. The salon is air conditioned and has diesel heat. So a lot of great features in the boat. One last thing as I'm rambling on here, as you look at all the Macquarie cherry that's in here, this is all from the same tree. So when you start looking at the veneers throughout the boat, you'll see that they match. So Jeff Chen, who owns the facility, this is a family operation which started in 1965. So he goes to the wood supplier and he hand picks every piece of wood that goes into the boat. So it's not a case of we call up and say we need 145 pieces of 4x8 veneers. He goes there and they hand pick to make sure if there's no knots in the wood, and so he knows where the pieces need to be, and they get to their facility, they map it out and they mark the wood accordingly. It's sort of how you do the Caesar stone and the stone in the boat as well. You make patterns and you go to the stone supplier and you mark out all the pieces you need so they match, and then they cut the stone for the boat. So just another cool feature. Simple creature comfort things, wine cooler. Now we design these boats, we're semi-custom builders, so every boat is done to a client's specifications. So we just finished delivering a new 680 Sky Lounge to a couple in Florida. I mean, it's there right now. And so in that boat, we took this area here and we went all the way back here, made TV, entertainment center, bar, sink, refrigerator, wine cooler, this whole area. It turned out absolutely beautiful. And that's how they cruise and live. So we try to create a boat that fits your cruising lifestyle. So anyhow, enough about that. Welcome to the Galley. We refer to this as a two-bottom galley. What that means is one person can be here, the other person can walk behind you and get in the refrigerator or the freezers or be over here at the induction cooktop. So you can see how nice the space is. We have these large Franke sinks. What's great about these sinks, first they're deep, so if you have crab pots you're using, but there's drop-in liners, so you can have a strainer, second sink, cutting board, all of that, and those accoutrements, if you will, go with this. And you can see how beautifully the fit and finish in this is. The floor that I'm standing on, now this is Caesar stone, so you have a choice, Caesar stone, granite, marble. This is heated. This boat's equipped with a hydronic diesel heating system, and the heating system is tied into the floor here and both heads forward. So you can turn the furnace on, just crank the floor circulation up, and you can have warm floors. So when you get up in the middle of the night or you just want to take the edge off in the boat, you can do that with the heated floors. Great feature. You'll see that there's a lot of cabinetry. All of our drawers are full pull. They're not 3/4 like you see. So when you want to put something in a drawer, you can just drop it in. So pots and pan drawer, all the same. So great storage in here. Little things that I think are really kind of neat. You look at this corner. Now this boat is 4 years new, so it's been out in the water for 4 years. You won't see any degradation on any of our custom woodwork. The fit and finish in the boat is really second to none. So whether it's our Hampton product, our Endurance, our Regency, all built by the same family, our fit and finish doesn't take a back seat to any builder. So I welcome you to come and see the quality that goes into these boats. Another great feature here in the pilot house. Now I do this with one hand, and you'll see panographic style doors, sort of like you have on an airplane. So when I turn this handle, you'll see this stainless rod here. There's one on either side. It's tapered, and so when we have, if you want to just have airflow without running air conditioning, you can set the doors like this. And there's stainless steel pieces, so it's not hurting the paint and gel coat. But when you close the door, you'll hear the air suck out. So these are stainless steel doors, cherry trim on the outside, fiberglass gel coat trim on the outside, and that's your lock. But these are really beautiful doors. This boat's been up and down the coast at least 5 times. I say up and down the coast from Washington to Southern California, and you'll see no water stains anywhere in this vessel. Very solid, very tight. These are great doors. A few other features. Here in the pilot house, we have these inverted windshield, and now this 9 o'clock at night here in the Northwest, so the sun's not out, it's still bright. But normally you'd have aft-facing windows. And so when you do that, you get all that sunlight that comes in. If you're cruising during the day, you really don't need to wear sunglasses because you don't have the sunlight intruding in. You have these dark mullions and this nice soft touch material around here as well. But these dark mullions, so really you're just looking out. And look at the visibility over the bow. I mean, this is a really big, high bow, and look at your visibility from here. So when you're out in the open water, you have beautiful visibility. All of our boats come with a standard Garmin suite. They're 8000 series. These are 8600. So we have 8617s here and 8622 up on the Flybridge. So 3 here, 2 up on the bridge. And of course you have autopilot, AIS, all the equipment. You also have hydraulic, ABT, bow and stern thrusters. You have track stabilizers system. Boat has water maker, and as I mentioned, it has air conditioning, diesel furnace, ISO boost transformers, dual generators, emergency water pump system, 2 layers of Kevlar in the hull from chine to chine, 3 layers of impact zone. If you really want to know how well this boat's equipped, the best thing to do is call one of our team members of CL Yachts around the country. They can give you the information on how these boats are put together. But needless to say, we also could put you in touch with SD captains who's moved this boat for the owner every time. Jeff, the photographer that's here, has also been up and down the coast on the boat. They'll tell you how beautiful running offshore these boats are. So with that, me rambling on, I want to say one thing. So Jeff, I'm going to get out of your way, and you stay here with your camera, and let me walk back here and talk about I was saying, if you're at the helm station and your cruising partner's back here, you can communicate visually. So it's really something that you don't have on a lot of offshore cruising boats. And this is a good long-range cruising boat. So just another nice feature. So I think I'll leave you with this great serving bar. Simple thing where we lock the chairs in so you're in rough water. They're not coming out. Just another little thing we thought of. Early on we didn't do that and people had made comments about it, so this is our answer. All right. Step down into the foyer. A few nice things about it. You have this beautiful art nook ready for whatever art you'd like to have on here. Same thing, really nice contemporary drop down style ceiling with backlighting. And if you step down in here, I guess we'll go to the owner suite first. I think one of the cool features in here that everybody likes is that we have separate washer and dryer. And along a lot of boats, the washer and dryer are basically in and they build a boat around it. So we built the compartments. You undo 4 screws and then you lift and pull the washer and dryer out. You can carry them up. So if they ever fail, they don't have to be fixed somehow in the boat, or you don't have to take the cabinetry apart. So I think that's just a really great feature that we offer that a lot of manufacturers didn't think about. Simple, easy. And then you walk through into the owner suite, full beam, king size bed. Again, a nice combination of beautiful soft touch material. This is a kind of an oyster look finish with this satin Macquarie. It's really a nice touch. And this is a little more modern than most of our Endurances when you look at this window design. So you have 2 opening ports on both sides, and some from the outside is really a beautiful look on the hull. So as far as storage, which everybody seems to think there's a lack of, if Jeff puts a camera to himself, you will see that as a walk-in clothes locker. And you'll see cabinet storage, drawer storage in there. The bureau here has 9 drawers. There's 4 drawers underneath the bed. There's 2 drawers at each nightstand. You have a hanging locker here, another hanging locker here. Another hanging locker here. I mean, you really have nice hanging locker. They're all lit. These beautiful raised panel doors. So there's a nice touch of a classic look and contemporary when you look at the design. And you step into the owner's suite head. Now you are going to hear a fan because I'm going to turn the light on in the shower. So I'm 5'10" and I'm barefoot, so you can see how much room would be in here. You can sit down, put your knee on for up here for shaving if you shave your legs. It's nice. You can adjust the tower, or if you have a puppy dog, people like to wash the dogs in the shower. You can do it in this one or the one up forward as well. Really nice, and you can't see it from where Jeff's standing, but there are 2 shelves in here. So, and they have a stainless rail, so your shampoo and all that has a rail to hold it in place. Same thing here, and same thing here. So nice having this, but it's nice. We also try to make it bright in here, so try not to make the door frame really heavy. It is a stainless steel frame, right? But all glass door, so really nice design. His and hers stuff locker, so aspirin, for those long nights so you have conversations. Drawer storage, really nice space. Again, growy faucets, same thing in the shower. Really nice touch in here. You have the mirrored ceiling to make the space feel brighter and bigger. I don't know how much more you can say about this. This is a really nice place. Nice job sitting on the toilet, by the way. So anyhow, as you pan around, you can see it's a very comfortable owner suite. There isn't anything lacking in here from an owner. From 50-inch television, surround sound stereo system. Again, heat, air, USB plugs, all the things in there, all around the whole boat. So down to having a multi-reader depth sounder, right? So you have a depth sounder and GPS and all of that, anchor watch. Those, just a little thing in here, so it gives you a little more comfort if you're anchored up in Alaska and you're worried about the 20-foot tide. There's also a motion alarm sensor throughout the boat. So you'll get notices to your phone or your computer that somebody's on your boat, which actually happened to Jeff and I tonight because the owner in San Diego called and said, "Who's on my boat?" So, that's a nice feature to have. Stepping forward, this port guest stateroom, a great feature, and the biggest feature if you'd like to travel with couples. This bed slides over into this bed, and you have basically a queen-size bed. That's why the nightstand is low, and when you pull this across, this nightstand is built all the way across. So you still have the nightstand, you still have a plug to plug in your phone, you also have plug and USB up here, 2 port lights, again, plenty of headroom in here, television, stereo. Our stereos are all Fusion stereos, and they still play DVDs, even though a lot of people don't use them anymore. But you look at the flooring, it's beautiful. And they ordered cherry and holly. You can have a satin finished cherry. You can have this all stone. It can be carpeted. So if you order a new boat, it's really what you like. This is a Jack and Jill head, which means you can access it from in-suite from the VIP, or you can come across from the guest head. Again, another really nice shower. Plenty of headroom. The same type glass, stainless steel frame. You have a seat. The floor, which is kind of cool, we figure where the water flow is going to be, and we groove the floor so it helps the water flow to these 2 drains that we put in here. We put one in the back, you put one on the side, so if you're taking showers and you're anchored and the boat's rocking a little bit, the water will get guided to the drains. Of course, they go into a sump, and then they get pumped overboard. So nothing goes into your bilge. Same basic thing, beautiful sink, great storage, Caesar stone countertops, that's what shows in heated floors. Again, really nice space, and then you step into the VIP suite. Again, headroom galore, about 7 feet in here, really nice bed. One of the compliments we get from, and I will say this without trying to be a sexist male, because at home I do make the bed, just so you know, but lots of times the ladies are making the bed, and what's nice about this, you can see you can make the bed all the way around. You're not tucking it into a cabinet on the side. So when your friends are staying with you and they want to get in the bed, they step up here and then get right on the bed, right, real easy. And so if I want to sit and read in bed, I can sit here and be on my phone or my tablet, and I'm not hitting my head. Daytime, you have the blackout. These are ocean air screens and a skylight, so this is also an escape hatch if someone wanted to get out of the boat. So nice cabinetry around the side, shelving, great storage in here, large hanging locker, large television set, just a really great stateroom. And again, getting out of bed, real easy. So it doesn't feel like the Princess and the Pea bed where, again, they're really high like they are in some boats and you can't sit up and read. So, I mean, that's really it. Great storage space in the bilge. I'll just lift this up for a moment just to give you an idea of the fit and finish that we put into our spaces. So all the bilge areas are sanded and painted. These are great storage, whether you want to put crates in here for wine or your canned goods, dry goods. This is a great space, and it's this whole space underneath here. So it's really a large storage area. So with that, we should go to Flybridge. Okay, let's go. So two ways to get to the Flybridge. One is from the pilot house. You have these easy stairs going up here. Then on the aft deck, on the same port side, you have molded fiberglass stairs going up. So we'll go this way. And this is an entertainer's dream. Jeff, if you pan forward, look at that space, cruising space. This is all enclosed. Canvas was made by Seattle Canvas. This is easy to see why. These are sliding panels. This isn't really cool, right? So we do a double like this, so it makes it really easy to have a sliding door. And so now you can open this space up between helm area and this after deck. But look at the size of this deck. This is a 13-foot Generations Walker Bay tender. And you'll look at how much room's here. I can walk around the tender. I can get to the davit, do service work on the davit, get to the parts of the dinghy, keep it clean, and yet just walk around this thing very easily. So another cool feature on the Flybridge, Jeff, if you come over here and you look at the side, so if you like paddle boards and kayaks, they can fit on the side here, and that center rail that's here, it stops them from falling over, right? Most people put a handrail, but they don't put a center rail. So like say, you can put your paddleboards over there, strap them in place. Just a cool feature. So quickly in the barbecue, you have a DCS propane barbecue, 30-inch sink, hot cold water, of course, refrigerator, ice maker, and again, this is all not Caesar stone, but Corian. I haven't said that name for a long time, but outside we'd like to use Corian, very durable for outsides. Usually natural stone isn't the best thing to be out in the elements, but Corian and silestone, and those work really well. So again, large deck, easy access going to the aft deck from here. So again, the overhand rails, you see two sets of them here, so because if you were to launch the tender, which you can launch the tender over the swim platform, a lot of boats you'll see that they put their davits up forward, and with that davit forward, all you can do is launch off the side. With the davit aft, you can actually go into marina bow first, launch your tender after you get your boat into the marina. So just another little feature that we do with our boats to make it more convenient when you're boating. So let's step forward, look into the Flybridge, and again, great place to cruise from. Again, it's also heated, so if middle of the winter, diesel furnace is on, 80 degrees in here cruising. Great place to dine as well. I mean, seating is fantastic. So you could be here while you're cruising, taking a nap, right? This is a great settee. All of our chairs have standard pomponette chairs. Clients always choose the type of fabric and how they want them upholstered. Here you have this beautiful settee. It's not really an L settee because it's the same size on both ends. And again, you could have 8 of your friends just sitting around here. This is a massive settee. It's also up high, so I can look out. I don't have to look up out of this. Everything in the boat, every place you sit in one of our boats, you can look out and down. You don't have to look out and up for the view. So really good sight line on our boats. Something that will be hard to detect, but our hardtops, the finish of the hardtop underneath, it's a non-skid pattern like you'd have on the deck. And we do it in a satin finish. And that's why when you look at it, there's very little glare from the lights. So when you're cruising from up here, sort of like you have the inverted windshield down below, you don't get the sun reflection up here. So again, you don't get as tired from cruising all day like you would if you had this. If this was all gloss finished, the sun would reflect and you'd need your sunglasses on all day cruising. But you really don't have to have it with this setup. It's really fantastic. And then from an entertaining standpoint, television, stereo, all of those things. I put a lot of things inside this. This is all storage, this whole area underneath. I mean, you could literally put a double bed in there and someone could sleep there. It's so large. But I shoved all the seat covers, everything in there, so it's a little messy at the moment. But from a standpoint of handling and being in command of the ship, 22-inch 8600 Garmin screens, same thing, reactor autopilot, your bow and stern thruster, rudder interchangeable, multi-display equipment, the track controller for the track stabilizers, your VHF, AIS, all the same equipment. We have, a ACR spotlight system on the boat. Everything is repeated here. The difference is 2 large screens instead of 3 smaller screens. All the same functions. You can split these screens. If you say, hey, I'd really like to do a combo, you go, okay, what combo do I want? Do I want radar and chart plotter? Do I want radar and depth sounder? Do I want video and chart plotter? What do I want? So you can set these up any way you like them. And yes, all those targets, the AIS is saying we're going to run into all these boats. So all these boats in the marina keep their AIS on, which you always think is funny. But if you want to know what a boat is, you just hit it. It tells you what the boat is, right? So, and it will, if I do this, so that's funny, right? So now, since I'm trying to prove how cool I am, I prove that I'm not every time. So, yeah, I'll do this the right way. Let's go to charts. Go there. Now let's see if I hit this button, if it will let me do it. And then it should tell me AIS vessel. Thank you. That's where my glasses would come in handy. Unprofessional video by Martin Snyder. So anyhow, it's telling us the vessel, how fast it's going, its location. So it's pretty cool, right? So anyhow, stop panning. It'll go back to where it was. So very nice helm station. Again, great visibility. Even at this time of night, which is probably about 9:30 here in Anacortes, Washington, look at the visibility over the bow. You're looking right down over the anchor. You couldn't ask for anything more. Again, great helm seats, great space. It's just, I don't think in 65 feet you can find any other boat. I don't care what boat you pan around and look here. Try to find one of these boats that we compete against and find one that offers what this vessel offers. It's just not here. All great boats, but nobody in 65 feet can beat this Flybridge arrangement. Nobody. So, anyhow, I'll keep rambling on if you want me to. Where should we go next? Should we go to the engine room or should we go to the foredeck? Where are we going?
Engine room.
All right, engine room it is. So, 2 ways into the engine room. Easy access from the main salon. Then if you're having service techs work on your boat and your way, you have a watertight transom door, which we have open. We'll show you when we get out into the engine room. So this is the teenagers' room, crew quarter, work area, and engine room. So come on down. Just real quick. AC/DC panels, and yes, this folds out of the way. AC/DC panels, inverter panel, generator remote start-stop, and select shore power selector switch, and you push a little button and your inverter lights up to tell you if it's in float mode or charging. Right. This control here is actually for the chilled water air conditioning, so it will either you turn it on for air or you turn it on for heat, and it's a heat pump, sort of like you'd have at home, but it's heating basically glycol. It's a closed loop system, and it's heating it or cooling it, and remotely are just fans that are blowing that air around the vessel. So very cool system. So step on into the shop. So here we are. So there's the door, the watertight door that goes out to the aft deck. So nice access. Have a head here on the starboard side. It's really nice. Same Tecma quiet flush toilets that we put in all the heads. And then behind here, and it's probably a little messy, this is a really deep, nice, tall storage locker. And these are all the manuals for the boat. Everything's put back here. And like I say, this is just like the other doors. Panographic style door. Locks in place. Lock the door. Watertight. It's really nice. But if you have service techs coming through, we have all this nice diamond plate flooring, rubber, so they can get in and out without making a mess in the rest of the vessel. This is a teenager's room. Again, really nice space. Oversized single on the bottom, single on the top. Hanging locker, drawer space, television, stereo, all the things the other staterooms have. So that's why the children really like this area of the boat. Gives them their privacy, gives the owners their privacy, mom and dad, grandma, grandpa. So cool feature. And then if you're mechanical, this is the best feature of the boat. Come on into the engine room. All right. So I'm going to stand here, just give you, again, I say I'm 5'10", so you can look at this headroom in here. It's massive. It's beautiful. Service techs really love these engine rooms because I can get up and around. I don't have to skint. I'm 200 pounds. I can get around everywhere around the engine. I think some of the cool features is we have the starboard engine starting batteries here. I'm sitting on one of the battery boxes. It makes it really nice when you're sitting here on a service deck, you're working on the engines. It just makes it really convenient. Right here behind me is the reservoir for the hydraulic system. It says track ABT on there. And on this side is the hydronic diesel furnace, which is probably a little harder to see. This is the exhaust for the furnace behind me. And then up forward, these are your Raycor fuel filters. So this is a crossover system, and what that means, there's two filters. You can run on both of them, one of them, or you can shut them both off if you wanted to change the filters. But you can run on one filter, and if you unfortunately got water in your fuel, which can happen from time to time, you can switch filters, drain the water out from the bottom of the bowl, and be able to switch back and forth if you ever needed to. And it might be hard to see, but underneath these filters looking forward, these are fuel tanks going to thwart, which means they're running port to starboard, starboard to port. And so your fuel tanks are there. Cool feature of that is all the fuel runs down to the center. So there's a 2.5-inch inner diameter crossover tube on these. So you only have to fill the boat from one side. Don't have to drag the fuel hose around to the other side. You can fill from one side, and they fill within about 20 gallons of one another. So really a nice even fill. But underneath the tank on this side is your stabilizing actuator. So again, it might be hard to see. And just below here, your headhunter pumps, your AC and DC. So you've got the caliber and the Mach 5, and then up forward is your ABT track stabilizer actuator. So. See other great features. Behind me, the air boxes. You'll see up here there's a little, what looks like a chain. There's an electric solenoid. So in the event that you may have a fire, what would happen is that unit right there, the tank that's red that has the halon in it, I believe that's halon, it would sense fire. It would tell these things to release. These doors drop down. Your engines then are shut off, and your fire retardant material is dispersed, fire goes out. So then you have an option. First, you can come down, and I'll show you later, there's a window in the door. So first you look at the door, make sure the fire's out, if you have one. You've got an override mechanism, so you can switch and override and start your engines back up if you're somewhere you don't want the engines to be shut off. But usually what you do, you come down and inspect it. You do have to reattach these. They're just spring loaded. You do have to reattach these. It's very simple to do. You just pull this back, stick the thing back in, and that's what you do. So, but that's what happens when when it senses fire, it drops to the boxes and seals this off so it can evacuate the fire. If you didn't shut your engines off, and I don't know how other systems are set up, but the engines would just suck the fire retardant in and spit it out the exhaust, because these draw a lot of air. So, other features in here: dual Northern Lights generators, one here on the starboard side, one outside the port engine. Northern Lights generators were designed for the Alaska fishing fleet. They are dependable, very simple, really nice generators to have on your boat. Up forward on the port side of the engine room, that says legend on it. That is a blue water maker. Above it are the membranes that do the desalination part of the program, where it takes the salt out of the water. We have sediment filters and other things as well. And then, Jeff, if you pan aft, those are the chilled water pumps. Just by the door, those two big white units there, those are heat pumps. So you'll see two sets of tubes, two white tubes and two insulated tubes. So the white tubes are the raw water that gets pumped around the pumps themselves for the heating and the cooling. And then the ones that are insulated are the glycol that gets pumped around the boat to the fans, and that is the heat that's heated and cooled to give you air conditioning or give you heat. So anyway, a lot of other great features in here, but I don't think you want me to ramble on for the rest of the evening. But I think the biggest thing is you can get to everything in here. Nice steel, stainless steel engine beds, large engine mounts that are that Caterpillar gives us the information on what we should have. Again, I feel like the boat I was on the other day when I couldn't say glass rack. So Cat would spec the motor mounts that we built these two, but you look at the size of the stainless steel engine beds that they're bolted to. Also, you can see on this generator, it's raised up high, easy for a service tech to get to, and the other key feature is it gives you access to the shaft system, and really nice system. That's an oil bath system that allows the shaft to flow much freer than a stainless cutlass bearing system. So. I think the last thing I'd point out on this particular boat is this boat's been here for about a week, just ran up from San Diego. Nothing in here has been cleaned yet because we haven't been able to get the detailers on board. And look for any salt corrosion. Look at all the pieces in here. This has not been wiped down for this video at all. This is just the way it came up. So really nice, clean. That's where those air vent systems really come in handy, the air boxes that Hampton and Endurance designs into their boats. So, I think that's really it. I hope you liked the boat. If you have any questions, reach out to Seattle Yachts salespeople around the country. You can get a hold of me at martin@seattleyachts.com or go to our website where all of our yachts are listed. So great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.